Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Miranda Bursky. I'm a marketing communications consultant with Protein Industries Canada. Today, we're joining you from across Saskatchewan and Ontario for the most part. We would have preferred to meet with you in person today, but we're glad you're able to join us virtually instead. Just a quick note before we get started to let you know how our platform works. You'll notice that for now you're muted. And when the time comes after each of our partners today has spoken, we'll give you the opportunity to ask questions. We'll unmute you if you use the raise your hand function, or you can put your comment into the Q&A box. For now, I'd like to turn things over to our CEO of Protein Industries Canada, Mr. Bill Gruhl, and he'll get things started for us. Bill?
Yeah, thank you, Miranda, and good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Gruhl. It's my pleasure to be here today with so many distinguished guests to introduce Protein Industry Canada's latest project. And while we're all joining you from different parts of Canada, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that I'm in Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm on Treaty 4 territory, the original land of the Cree, Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, and Lakota, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. To get us started with today's event, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Lloyd Longfield, MP for Guelph. Representing the people of Guelph since 2015, Mr. Longfield formerly sat as a member of the Standing Committee on Agriculture. He currently serves as Vice Chair of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts and as a member of the Standing Committee on Environment and Sustainable Development. Mr. Longfield.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Mr. Gruhl. And I'm originally from Treaty 1 land, from Winnipeg. And so I know that you have a fresh morning in Regina. I'm sorry that we're not there to experience the minus 30-degree and sunny skies and crunchy snow. But here we are virtually, as we all have been doing since last March. And thank you everyone for joining us for this important announcement this morning that brings the power of science and agriculture together for the benefit of health and nutrition of Canadians. It's great to be with Protein Industries Canada and all the great work coming from the supercluster and under the leadership of Bill Gruhl and his team. And also, it's my pleasure now to welcome Minister Marie-Claude Bibeau, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food. Minister Bibeau is now well into her second year as Agriculture Minister. In fact, I think you get 2 years for 2020, all the work that goes on virtually across the country and what we're doing to try and maintain our position and grow our position in agriculture and agri-food. Minister Bibeau was elected in 2015 to represent Compton-Stansted and Quebec's eastern townships, a beautiful part of the country with heavy agricultural influence. And I know she has a lot of experience in agriculture, hence being the Agriculture Minister for Canada. She's also served as the Minister of International Development and La Francophonie. And in March 2009, she made history when she was named Canada's first ever woman Minister of Agriculture. The minister's vision for Canadian agriculture as a global leader that is sustainable economically, environmentally, and socially. And as a member of the Standing Committee on the Environment and the past member of the Agriculture Committee, I've interacted a lot with Minister Bibeau, and it's a real privilege to work with her. I can tell you that she's passionate about the sector, she's experienced, and she really does get agriculture. So it's great to have her strengthening our food security for the most vulnerable, especially during the pandemic, and also supporting our farmers and our farm industry. She was instrumental in launching Canada's first ever food policy, something that we also worked on together. And she makes it a priority to engage with active participation with women and youth at the leadership table, along with other underrepresented Canadians. Minister Bibeau works with provinces, territories, and agriculture stakeholders to ensure the well-being of farming families and the prosperity of rural Canada and the protection of our environment. So that includes helping farmers take advantage of new market opportunities, as we're talking about today, including the global market for plant proteins. And I've personally visited AgWest Bio up in Saskatoon. I know there's a lot of exciting things going on in Saskatchewan, and it's great to see the connections now into Ontario. So it's wonderful to have everybody here today so we can talk about this announcement. And at this time, I'd like to turn over to our federal government's Minister of Agriculture with an exciting new project at Protein Industries Canada. So Minister Bibeau, floor is yours, and I'll mute myself now.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'm reaching out with you from my hometown, Sherbrooke in Quebec, which is a traditional territory of the Abenaki people and the Wabanaki Confederation. Bonjour à tous et à tous. Ça me fait plaisir d'être avec vous aujourd'hui. It's my pleasure to join you to help celebrate a great new project from the protein industry's supercluster. Thanks to Bill Gruhl and the whole Protein Industries Canada team. It has been amazing to see how, over the past 2 years, you have gained so much momentum in building the potential for Canadian-made plant-based proteins. Businesses of all sizes are coming together with the academic and research community to build the whole innovation ecosystem. The rest of the world knows that Canada is a leader in the plant protein market, and we want to stay out in front. That's why today, I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada, through the Protein Industries Supercluster, is investing more than $1 million to help create 2 new protein powders products. These powders will be targeted to a range of consumers, from athletes to hospital patients. The proteins will help people who need to maximize their protein consumption. For example, people recovering from surgery or athletes building muscle mass. The products are versatile and user-friendly. They can be added to water. They have strong muscle building properties and are allergen-free with a low carbon footprint. And they will be made from our world-class Canadian crops grown by our world-class Canadian farmers. That means more markets for our farmers and more jobs for Canadians, not to mention a high-quality product that helps Canadians stay healthy and strong. Congratulations to project leads, Medical Nutrition, and Infinit Nutrition Canada. Partners like yours allow Canada to help meet a global food demand that is growing fast. It's a lucrative market, one that is being driven by a rising global population and more middle-class consumers, especially in Asia. As these consumers increase their consumption of protein, Canada is well positioned to capitalize through innovative plant-based protein products. It should be said that plant protein innovations build on the advantage Canada has with animal proteins. We are driving innovation in animal proteins in so many ways, whether it be isolating the protein in milk or superior breeding for livestock. And what happens when our agriculture sector becomes more innovative? More growth, more jobs. In fact, plant protein in Canada is expected to contribute more than $4.5 billion to GDP growth. So naturally, we are very proud of collaborations like this, made possible by our federal investment of $153 million in the work of the Protein Industries Supercluster. The government originally selected Canada's 5 superclusters to accelerate innovation in areas of competitive advantage for Canada, including the global protein industry. So far, we have seen real momentum from the superclusters, with hundreds of projects approved and thousands of jobs created. Protein Industries Canada has already rolled out a number of innovative projects to help Canadian farmers add value to their crop and capture new opportunities in the growing plant protein market. As the superclusters continue to expand their membership, Canadians can look forward to benefiting from many more innovative and groundbreaking projects like the one we are celebrating today. Congratulations once again to the project leads and to the team at Protein Industries Canada. I look forward to seeing where this innovative work takes you and the Canadian plant protein industry. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Minister Bibeau. It's always such an honor to have you join our announcements and show support for Canada's farmers and agri-food sector. but specifically to those trailblazing companies leading innovation in Canada's plant protein ecosystem, like those involved in today's announcement, Enhanced Medical Nutrition and Infinit Nutrition Canada. Today marks Protein Industry Canada's 15th technology project announcement and our second based fully in Ontario. It's a true cross-Canada project representing the collaborative nature that we aim for here at Protein Industries Canada. While EMN and INC will be conducting their research in Ontario and utilizing your province's impressive agri-food sector, they'll also be making use of plant protein crops from across the country. And their doing so will directly benefit the health of some of our nutritionally at-risk citizens. Through our combined $2.2 million investment, they will be working with McMaster University to research and develop a new plant protein blend that will meet the needs of hospitalized and outpatient individuals, as well as highly active athletic consumers. By ensuring the blends can be mixed in beverages or soft foods or liquids used in enteral feeding tubes, EMN and INC are helping all Canadians get the protein they need to lead healthy, nutritious lives. It's a significant step forward in the plant protein sector as the demand for plant-based proteins is growing. And as the demand grows, the plant protein sector is working to satisfy that demand while also meeting the diverse protein needs of Canadian consumers. Up until now, patients using enteral feeding tubes, for example, had limited protein choice. Most often when using an enteral feeding tube, their protein needs were met by animal protein, which left patients with dairy allergies in a difficult situation. Together, this group is working to give those patients new choice, as well as increasing the choices available for patients in other clinical settings and at-home consumers. It's a truly innovative step forward for not only the plant protein sector, but for all Canadians. And I thank them for that, and I look forward to seeing the results of their work. It will go a long way to not only improving the health of Canadians, but helping make Canada a global leader in plant protein. I'd also like to thank the Protein Industry Canada staff members who helped bring this project to this point, specifically Chris Anderson, our Chief Technology Officer, Cassandra Quayle, our Chief Financial Officer, and Diane Harms, our Program Specialist out of Alberta that led the internal project development. Finally, I would like to thank Minister Champagne and Innovation, Science and Industry and Minister Bibeau and Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, the Government of Canada, for their support of Protein Industries Canada and our partners. Their support will go a long way in helping ensure the plant protein sector continues to build upon the current strength that Canadians have and new plant protein options now and into the future. And as mentioned earlier, this is our second project to be fully based out of Ontario. And while Protein Industries Canada may be based out of the West, we must build our strengths from every province in order to capture our share of this global opportunity. And that's why I'm so pleased to have Mr. Randy Pettapiece, the MPP for Perth Wellington, and the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, the Honourable Ernie Hardeman, here able to join us today. Mr. Pettapiece, would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you, Bill, for that kind introduction. It's great to be with all of you today from my home in Listowel, Ontario. And I have been across the West a number of times and always enjoy the climate and the great people out there. Just for your information, my family tried to populate the West back in the 1870s. So there's still a few of us out there. If you see that name, they are relatives of mine from distant way back. So good morning, everyone, and thanks, Bill, for that kind introduction. And I'm very pleased to join you today on behalf of Ernie Hardeman, Ontario's Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, to say a few words about this exciting research and development investment to further uses of plant-based ingredients and food in Ontario's processing sector. It's also great to see Minister Bibeau and MP Lloyd Longfield here today also. Their presence acknowledges the significant economic benefit this project is going to bring to the national agriculture sector, as well as to the Windsor community in which processing will take place. I'm pleased to send along the Minister's congratulations to all of the project partners, and especially to the two Ontario-based companies that are at the heart of this exciting project, Enhanced Medical Nutrition and Infinit Nutrition Canada. I know I speak for Minister Hardeman when I say how impressed I am with your project. This is clearly growing consumer interest. There is clearly growing in consumer interest in plant-based products, and particularly those that are allergenic free, ethically sourced, and manufactured from Canadian raw materials. You've identified a consumer need, and you're working towards new plant-based formulations specifically for clinical and high-end athletic use. This $2.2 million investment is a great example of collaboration by Protein Industries Canada to link Ontario's research and processing sectors with Western Canada's crops. This will create new plant-based protein and products for all Canadians to enjoy. You're going to be helping people who are looking for these kinds of specific nutritional products. And at the same time, you'll be supporting jobs and economic opportunities across the food supply chain. And that's a win-win situation in my books. I also want to applaud you for your working in partnership with McMaster University to make this ambitious project come together. They say two heads are better than one, and when one of those heads is a respected Ontario university, it's a smart business move. Once again, thanks very much for including me today, and thank you for undertaking this unique research and development investment in Ontario's and Canada's agri-food sectors. Minister Hardeman and I both look forward to following this project with great interest. Congratulations and all the best for your future success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettipies. It was really an honor to have so many distinguished guests be a part of our announcement this morning and show their support for what we're doing in Canada's plant protein sector. But now I'd like to hear from our project partners, as I'm sure everyone on the call today would. And so I'd like to turn it over to Eric Zimmerman from Enhanced Medical Nutrition.
Great, thanks Bill for the introduction, and thank Protein Industries Canada for the support. So maybe I'll share a little background on Enhanced Medical Nutrition. We are a life science company that is passionate about food tech, and we build clinical nutrition products specifically to help patients prepare better, recover faster from surgery or critical illness. And primarily the products that we're providing are powders that are reconstituted in water and either taken by mouth or fed through tube feeding. And these are designed to improve clinical outcomes. A lot of that work specific to providing solutions that help people meet protein requirements. And in our case, those requirements are very unique. The individual protein needs of someone who's sick or maybe in a hospital is much more significant than otherwise would be required. And when you consider the majority of these individuals are older, with limited appetites, other factors, really makes it a challenge for them to meet their calorie and their protein needs through diet alone. So by providing products that are easy to consume between meals, that contain the right amount of protein required for muscle health, it really helps overcome those challenges, and ultimately leads to better recoveries, and we think overall a healthier population. What's truly exciting about this project is the demand for plant-based proteins in the healthcare space, and we would say there aren't currently high quality plant-based protein options with supporting evidence. And we know that hospitalized individuals who follow these plant-based diets are often unable to access plant-based products. So we're working to change this by partnering with Protein Industries Canada, by partnering with Canadian plant-based protein suppliers to create high quality solutions for the healthcare market and for the aging population. Currently we sell nutrition products in Canada and the US. And for me and for Enhanced Medical Nutrition, I would say a key highlight of this project is, working with Dr. Phillips at McMaster to conduct some of this research, and also working with a close partner, Infinit Nutrition Canada, on the development work and and we're really going to leverage both of their expertise. Infinit Nutrition Canada does such a great job, creating sports nutrition products designed for athletes, Olympians, and what we're doing here is we're working together to really help bring that expertise to populations that really need the help. So on that note, I'll pass it over to Darcy from Infinit Nutrition Canada, who can help explain more about his role within the project.
Thanks, Eric. Good morning. I'm coming from Windsor, Ontario. I'm Darcy Haggith, the CEO of Infinit Nutrition. We started in 2006. At Infinit, we support the most elite athletes, like those currently preparing for what we hope are the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. We also support everyday athletes, individuals trying to live their life to the fullest. Often, the backbone of our products, our ready-to-mix powdered products, is protein. Drinks that are designed for high-volume athletes or everyday folks looking to get the right amount of protein in their diet so that they can feel strong and stay healthy. We learned early that if we start with the highest quality ingredients, it often results in products that have the highest nutritional value. But more importantly, I believe, is these are products that customers feel they get to have versus have to take. That's a really important distinction. If you have to endure or try to get products down daily, you're likely not going to take them again and again. So you have to start with a very enjoyable product. For an example of this, I have to look no further than my mom. My mom's in her 70s, and she enjoys a product, a whey-based product that we created, a coffee protein beverage. She considers her a treat. I'm heartened to know that she gets 20 grams extra protein in her diet every single day while she enjoys it. Personally, I enjoy a plant-based diet while leading a very active lifestyle. I cycle a crazy amount, probably about 15,000 kilometers a year. It's kind of my Zen place. I fortify my real food diet with whey proteins, currently, products that Infinit markets today. We've been working really hard over the last 5 years to create a plant-based diet or plant-based protein product worthy of our Infinit Nutrition Canada name and that aligns with our values. One of our key values is to tread lightly. We believe there's a more sustainable way. So until now, we've struggled to create a plant-based product that matches some of the animal-based products out there today. One that is very high in protein, has the same amino acid profile as some of the animal-based proteins, and has a remarkable taste, results in a product that someone truly enjoys. We are elated to be receiving support from Protein Industries Canada and working alongside of Enhanced Medical Nutrition and Dr. Stu Phillips from McMaster. This project, PIC project, will support both EMN and Infinit in creating that elusive plant-based product that ticks all the boxes. One that's not gritty, a product that doesn't settle, it doesn't have an earthy taste. I believe an earthy taste is just a fancy way of saying it doesn't taste very good. So we're going to change that. And has the same nutritional value as some of the best animal-based proteins on the market today. We are super excited to be working with some of our partners like Movati Athletic and the Canadian Sport Institute Ontario, Canadian Sports Centre or Institute Pacific, utilizing their clients and athletes in the prototyping phase, making sure that our products really hit the palate, the taste profile that we're looking for. After the prototyping phase, which is well underway, the products will be studied in a research environment under the direction of Dr. Stu Phillips. Infinit has worked with Dr. Stu Phillips on countless research studies over the last 5-6 years that have mostly focused on skeletal muscle health. We're really excited to be working, Stu, on a project that will create a plant-based protein product that uses Canada's vast crop resources, and that is as nutritious as the animal-based products on the market today. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Stu Phillips.
Thank you very much, Darcy, and thank you very much to everybody else for attending this morning. Bonjour à tous, c'est un plaisir de parler avec vous aujourd'hui. I'd like to first take the time to recognize that McMaster University and most of where I live in Hamilton is currently on the traditional territory shared by the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations. And it's interesting that that was acknowledged in what was called the dish with one spoon wampum belt. And the wampum here uses the symbolism of a dish to represent the territory and one spoon to represent that the people are to share the resources of the land and only take what they need. And I think that that's a very fitting sentiment when the global demand for food is growing with a specific need for protein. So it's a real pleasure for myself and for McMaster University to partner with first two very good friends and colleagues, and also blending the interest that my lab has had over the past 23 years with the intersection between dietary protein and muscle health. Darcy's business at Infinit Nutrition Canada partners my love of athletics and physical activity and hoping to fuel and power people to the best performance that they have. Whereas Eric's enhanced medical nutrition allows aging people and clinical populations to achieve wellness. So it's a great pleasure to have Protein Industries Canada, EMN, and INC as partners in this venture. And I really look forward to partnering not just with them, but with the young people that are the highly qualified personnel that come through my lab and serving eventually to develop a product that will hopefully lead to better jobs and better lives for Canadians. So it's a real pleasure this morning, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. And thank you, everybody, for your kind words this morning. It's been wonderful hearing about the project and the plans that you have in order to help Canadians receive more protein, no matter what stage they're at in their life and no matter what their health position is. For now, we'd like to open the floor up to media. If you have any questions you'd like to add or ask of the project participants or of the leads, please use the raise your hand function or type them into the Q&A box, and we would be happy to allow you to unmute yourselves, or we would unmute you and you can ask your question. Is there any questions at all? We have quite a few people on today, so now is your chance to ask if you have.
This is what happens in my undergraduate class as well, so it's...
Miranda, I think that no questions is a symptom of people explaining the project very well, and the news release and the media release that you provided that is very clear. So I'd just like to take this opportunity again to thank our business partners, Eric and Darcy, for their work. Welcoming McMaster University into the fold of PIC projects. I think this is the first one there, and we really appreciate the reach and the expertise you're bringing. And again, to Minister Bibeau and MP Mr. Longfield for taking time out, and Mr. Pettipies, who had to get to another commitment. So thanks again, everyone. We really look forward to this project taking off and seeing where it goes. So please enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're in the prairies like me, try to stay warm.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.